One of the more interesting features in the Superlink apps is the scrolling menus used to navigate to the different sections of the app and to launch the individual demos. The menus in the iPad Superlink are implemented using ordinary grids driven by a table in the database. The advantage of this method is that the navigation can be changed without the need to change any documents. The menus in the iPhone Superlink are implemented using static panels. Static panels are easier to implement than the grids found in the iPad Superlink, but they can be tedious to modify if the changes are made often. Let's take a look at how to implement the iPad grid method. When you look at the document in MicroStrategy Web, you'll notice that the menu is implemented as a simple grid. The grid is laid out with a fixed width and height. If there are more columns in the grid that can fit in the fixed width, the user can scroll the grid horizontally to reveal the additional columns. There is one attribute on the grid that shows two attribute forms, the name of the app and an attribute form called App Link Land. It's easier to see what the attribute form is using MicroStrategy Desktop. Looking at the grid, we see that App Link Land is really an HTML anchor tag. The App Link Land attribute type is defined as an HTML tag. When an HTML tag is rendered in MicroStrategy Web or mobile, it displays the HTML properly. In this case, since it's an anchor tag, it will display as a linked image. The anchor tag, although very long, has three pieces of information that changes from link to link: the path of the image to display, the project name, and the document ID to run when the link is clicked. Everything else in the reference string does not change. Looking at the table in the database that drives the menu's grid, we see three columns: an image path, a project name, and a document ID. There's an additional fourth column called App Link Land. This column is defined as a SQL Server computed column that combines the static, non-changing elements of the anchor tag with the three pieces of information in the record. For databases that do not have computed columns, a view would accomplish the same thing. Using a computed column makes it a lot easier to insert or update the three changing variables, rather than having to insert a properly formatted anchor tag for each row.